welcome to episode number 6 of the Two Goal Lead podcast presented by BCHL Network. My name is Brian Wiebe. I'm the editor-in-chief and owner of BCHL Network, and so thrilled for you to join me here on the podcast, and so thrilled with the response that we've had. I know I say it pretty much every single time we publish a new podcast, but I'm really, it means a lot. It means a lot to get the support that we've been getting on the articles on bchlnetwork.com or here on the Two Goal Lead podcast. I do have to apologize. I'm a little stuffed up here for this episode, but you know what? We'll get through it. I mean, it is that time of the year. I mean, pretty much everyone is battling a cold or something like that at this time of the year. So I do appreciate you listening in and tagging along with us as we go on this journey that is the Two Goal Lead podcast presented by BCHL Network. I will absolutely do my best not to cough or something like that during the podcast here today. Now, our guest today is someone that I'm really excited to talk to because he is the captain of the Langley Rivermen, a defender from Woodbridge, Ontario. It is 21-year-old Joe Messina. He's committed to Union College. We'll head there this September. Joe, thanks so much for taking the time to join us here on the Two Goal Lead podcast presented by BCHL Network.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I'm excited to be on, excited to talk.
So for the team, the Rivermen, nothing decided yet in the Coastal Conference between your team, the Powell River Kings, Cowichan Valley Capitals, all in the mix for the last 2 playoff spots there in the Coast. What does your team need to do to not only build a gap between yourselves and the Capitals, but also look to get further up in the standings?
Yeah, I mean, I think the weekends coming up are huge for us, but we've been having a good week of practice and competing, and I think we just got to, I think it's just going to be a matter of who wants it more, who's willing to battle, and hopefully we can come out on top. I think there's no reason why we can't. And I just think every game we have to treat like a playoff game here on in.
The Rivermen have had among the most power play opportunities in the entire Coastal Conference. Why is it that you think that Langley is able to cause those opportunities?
I don't know. I feel like, we play hard on both sides of the puck. I feel like that's our style of play. And I think that it can either result positively for us and, we can be on the power play, or it could result negatively, whether it's stick infractions or, lazy penalties, maybe high hits. Sometimes that happens when you play hard. And obviously some of it is avoidable. And, we've spoke about that plenty of times with the coaches. So hoping to avoid the infractions that just aren't necessary, but continue to play hard and, throw the body and continue that hard style of hockey. I feel like that's our identity this year, and we continue doing that with by limiting penalties. That'll make us successful.
Now, despite being near the top of the conference or at the top of the conference for much of the season in terms of power plays, the Rivermen are in the bottom half for power play percentage. So what can you do to capitalize more on those extra opportunities that you get with the man advantage?
Yeah, I think just be confident, be creative. Like we have a lot of skilled guys that can play in that role, and I think that you just got to be confident with the puck and make plays and be creative when we're up a man, and try to force the defenders to make harder plays and move the puck and find seams and stuff, get shots through from the point. I think that's a big one for us that our coach has been talking about, just getting pucks through from the point and getting greasy goals. We're not going to score highlight reel goals all the time, so you just got to get in the hard areas and be willing to take a hit to make a play sometimes.
Now, you were a first-year player on the Rivermen team that went to the conference final last season. For returning players like yourself, Vitaly Levy, Andrei Kovacevic, Keaton Oakley, and others, is there a bit of a chip on your shoulder after that sweep by Nanaimo last year?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, by the looks of it right now, we could be a first-round matchup against them. So it definitely gives us a chip on our shoulder. And I think if you look at all the times we've played them this year, every single time has been a 1-goal game. Although they're sitting at the top of the conference and we're battling for a playoff spot. So I just think in this league, any team could win on any given night. And, if we put our best foot forward and continue to get better every day, there's no reason why we can't make the playoffs and give them a run for their money and really push them to try to bring their best every single night.
For you and those veteran players who were on that team last year that were part of that playoff series, what do you impart onto the first-year players in terms of what it takes to win in the playoffs in the BC Hockey League?
Yeah, playoffs is another is a completely different game I found last year. I find during the season a lot of people are chasing goals, assists, individual accolades, and with that will come or with team success will come the individual and vice versa. But I think once you get to playoffs, it's a whole other style of hockey. Everyone wants to win, and it's that hard nosed game that we were talking about before. It's a lot of getting pucks deep, playing very sound in the D zone, and playing just limiting errors. I find that in this league, when you make mistakes, it's very easy for the other team to capitalize on those mistakes. So just very limiting mistakes, dumping and chasing, making the simple play, making the easy play, is what made us successful last year, and I think it's what's going to make us successful going into the final stretch of the season this year. That's what we try to tell the younger guys and first year players, is that it's not all about the making the moves and the pretty plays. It's just the little things, the hard plays that are important.
What does it mean to you to be captain of the Rivermen?
It means a lot. I mean, I started my junior career here when I was 18 years old, and unfortunately, we had opted out of the pod that year. But I thought the exhibition series I had was pretty good, and I got a good feel for the team and the organization at that point. The next year, there's a little bit of a turnaround with the coaches and stuff, but there was no there's no trouble for me there. Like, I got along well with the coaches, and when you work hard and put in the work, it's I find that the coaches will reward that. So I just put my head down, and now to be the captain of this organization, it means a lot. There's been ups, there's been downs, and there's still a lot to look forward to ahead. So I'm looking to make my mark in my last 15 or so season games, and going into playoffs on this organization before I'm out.
So for us as fans, we only see what you do on the ice for the Rivermen. What type of captain are you off the ice and in the dressing room?
Yeah, I mean, very vocal. I like to be out in the community. I like to talk to the fans when I broke my hand in November, and every single game I tried to talk to the fans and the kids, and really try to do stuff away from on the ice, what you guys see, to try to help the team and the organization. I find that I lead by example. I try not to, say unnecessary things. I just try to, put my head down and work, and hopefully all the young guys will follow in that. Um, and watch how I carry myself every day, and just the importance of little things, how to treat your body, all that stuff. I find that for me growing up, and the leaders that I had before me, Riley Wallach, Sealski, Colton Kovich, all those guys, they all just led by example, and that to me was the best way somebody can lead. Just showing me the ropes, show you how it's done, and if you choose to follow, that's when, and all the buy-in comes, that's when I find team success comes. So for me, I just like to lead by example, talk when I need to talk. And I'm very excited, very energetic person. I like to be positive. I don't try to harp on guys too much. Obviously sometimes necessary, but I try to be positive out there and be energetic for the team.
Now, you alluded to it a little bit earlier. You committed to the Rivermen in the spring of 2020, didn't get to hit the ice because the team, of course, opted out of the pod season there. During that year, knowing that it was a pivotal one for you development-wise, what did you do to keep your game sharp during that COVID-affected season?
I think a lot of people will agree with me on this one. I think it was all mental. I think everyone in that year, hockey or not, was struggling in their own ways. And I think for me, it was just to come here and make sure that I really had fun at the rink every single day, and just to realize and be grateful that I was doing what I really love to do. And then I was working towards a goal that, may not come this year or next year, but, if I keep working hard, I'll give myself a great chance to hopefully obtain that goal and, be a strong player in this league. And I think that, my coaches really, really helped with that. Mike Thompson at the time, Brad Back, and Bobby Henderson, they were really good with me, and they really taught me how to carry myself around the rink and set that foundation. And then moving into next year, Bert, Thomas, they've been unbelievable. They've been a great coaching staff, and really, really had a great impact on me. And I think, one reason why I am moving on to the next level is a lot to do with them and what they did for me while I was here.
How did you manage to keep your actual game skills sharp? on the ice,
Yeah, I
knowing
mean,
that
we
there weren't
practiced
those
every single
competitive
day.
games, right?
Yeah. We practiced every single day. It was like we were playing games. We practiced Monday to Friday. We worked out 4 times a week. And it's funny because we actually have this beside George Preston, we have this sort of lacrosse box or ball hockey rink, and it's outdoors. So I remember we'd have early mornings and we'd work out there, and the weights were freezing. Everything was cold, and it was just a grind. We weren't playing, and it was a grind. But we worked hard. I can't see it would have been hard for other teams to say that they worked harder than us. Like it was a grind. We were there every day in and out, making sure that if the time did come, that we would be ready. So
So
that really helped.
you've got your younger brother Nick on the roster of the Rivermen this season as a rookie. Before
Yeah.
this season, when was the last time you two were on the same team together in a competitive environment?
Yeah, never.
Really?
Yeah, never. It's quite the experience for my parents and myself too. It's unbelievable.
So how much of an impact is it having your brother here as a support, given the fact that both of you are so far from home?
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. I've lived with the billets I lived with before. They only had myself. I never had a roommate while I was here, so it's interesting to have a roommate, and to make that roommate your brother makes it even significantly more interesting. All the bickering and stuff from home carries on into here now. So no more FaceTime calls. Now it's it's real life, and it's all here, and it's fun. It's good, and it's nice because I can. I think for him, I can kind of show him the way and show him the ropes and how things go in this league and what it's like, and he kind of has like almost like inside access on what to do and how to do it properly. So I think it's a mutual benefit for both of us, and I like having him around. It's nice. So hopefully he's picked up on that, and it's exciting. It's a good time.
Do you two push each other a lot?
Oh yeah. Me and him, we have a very competitive relationship. We've had one since we were young. I mean, although we haven't played together on the same team, we've spent countless hours together every single day in the gym and on the ice, and we go home and we'll take a nap together, and like not in the same room, but at the same time we'll go straight to bed, and then we'll come back and we'll go back to the gym, and it's just he's my best buddy, and we do almost everything together. So it's definitely interesting, and all that time together, it comes with some arguments here and there, but for the most part, it's a good time. It's a good time.
So you committed to Union College last May. You're headed there this fall. What was it about the Dutchman program that appealed to you?
Yeah. I mean, last year I had interest from some different schools, and most of them came around playoff time or right after the series between Victoria or Alberni, just right around that time. And I think for me, it was just how much they believed in me, and it's a great academic school. The coaches are amazing, and just they said all the right things, and they really showed me that I can be a piece of their puzzle and how I fit in. And it was just great to feel. I really felt wanted and recognized by them, and that they really put in their homework, and that the program would be great for me. And I visited there this summer, and I was blown away. I set the bar high, but it was just going to that school. Like that school is just the campus is just unbelievable, and so much history to it. And they had that national championship banner hanging too, and it made everything just. It was unbelievable experience. I can't say enough good things about how that program is run and where they're going.
So how much are you looking forward to moving to Eastern New York State based on what you just said there?
Yeah. No, it's that I'm super excited. The only thing that comes along is I'm doing courses now for the first time in like 3 years. So I got to get my school brain going again. But
back to school, yeah.
But other than that, no, it's exciting. They're exciting times for sure. These are times I'm never going to forget. And I make sure every single day that I take advantage of it and enjoy this time while I got it. Make sure we're getting better every day, and we're moving towards the next chapter.
So you came to the BCHL from the Selects Academy U18 team in Connecticut. How did playing prep hockey at that South Kent school shape your game overall?
Yeah, that was my first time away from home, and it was an unbelievable experience. I mean, it came with its ups and downs, just like anything else. And in around a couple months in, I got homesick, and I remember my parents, they refused to let me come home. They said, you got to stick it out. You got to stick it out. And that was the best thing that they ever could have done, because, after I got over that hump, it was just a great time, and I got to develop, and I got to really learn the importance and the value of, being independent, and being held accountable for the little things, doing my own laundry and making my own bed, and, not having people to remind me to do my homework and do extra reps. And so it became routine for me to do these things. And I think that really prepared me for the BCHL as well, time away from the rink, and not having my parents at home and being in a different situation. So from that aspect, it was amazing. And even the hockey, I mean, their resume speaks for themselves. Just countless NHL players and college players going through there. So I still talk to those coaches now. They always check in how I'm doing, and they always text me after they see the games. If they're good, they'll message me. But if the games didn't go too well, they know they probably shouldn't message me. But no, they're great. It was a great time. They're a great experience for me. I recommend the East Coast Prep School thing to anybody.
All right, a couple of fun ones to leave it off here. Who's the best player you've ever played with
in my life?
Yeah.
Best player I've ever played with.
At any level.
At any level, like, are we saying club team or like spring included? Just anything, like in a single game.
It's your call. Sure. Best player you've ever been on the ice with.
On the ice with. Okay. Best player on the ice with, probably Mitch Marner.
Okay. You can't drop Mitch Marner and not tell us how that happened.
Well, he just works out at the same gym as me in the summer.
Okay.
So he's just on the ice like once every week or two. So he just skates around. But best player I've ever played with, probably, I don't know. Maybe Cole Perfetti.
Okay, yeah.
I went to the Hill Academy with him, and we played on that like little circuit, that just prep varsity team kind of together. And then club team, probably Jean-Luc Foudy. I don't know if you know who that is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's a Colorado Avalanche draft pick. I played with him in my minor midget season. So yeah, for a full year, probably Jean-Luc Foudy.
Okay, so when you get on the ice, whether it's with Marner or with Perfetti or with Foudy, what do you take away from being on the ice with guys like that?
There's so much. It's hard. It's hard to take away like things. Honestly, I think the most that you can take away from guys like that is just the vision, like how they see the ice. It's unbelievable. They'll be looking one way, and they'll throw a pass 180 degrees the complete other way, tape to tape, like back. They just know what's going on at all times, where everyone is. I think that's the biggest thing that they have, that I've seen growing up. That's just, wow. It's just unbelievable.
So who's the best player you've ever had to defend against?
In practice, Riley Wallach.
Yeah.
He's actually okay. No, but like, jokes aside, he's actually so hard to play. He's 6'6", just got a shot like I've never seen before. He might actually be up there. Defend against, yeah, probably same thing. Honestly, Cole Perfetti, probably. I played against him that year that we were in minor midget. He was on Vaughan. I was on the Toronto team. And he was, you just never know where he's passing it. You don't know where the puck's going. You don't know who's going where. He's throwing passes across the ice. It's wild. It's honestly, it's so fun to watch and to see. I mean, even the World Juniors, you see Connor Bedard. Like, I don't know the guy, but he's just unbelievable. Like, what a treat to watch.
Awesome. All right. Great stuff, Joe. Hey, thanks so much again for doing this. Really do appreciate it. And best of luck to you and the Rivermen for the rest of the season.
Yeah, thank you so much. You're very welcome. It was awesome.
Fantastic to chat with Joe Messina, defender for the Langley Rivermen, captain for the hockey club out in Langley, and looking forward to see exactly what happens down the stretch here as we get closer and closer to the Fred Page Cup playoffs in the BC Hockey League. That'll do it for this episode of the 2 Goal Lead podcast presented by BCHL Network. My name is Brian Wiebe, owner and editor-in-chief of BCHLnetwork.com. I should remind you that if you want to join BCHL Network, we are always looking for writers, and we've got some new articles actually just published at BCHLnetwork.com as well. But if you want to join our team, literally all you have to do is click on the menu item on the website that says Join Our Team. Fill out the form, it'll be sent to me, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. It's as simple as that. All right, there are lots of places that you can get the 2 Goal Lead podcast on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Audible, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Spotify, Stitcher, whatever platform it is that you're listening to it right now, embedded on the website perhaps. Do thank you so much for tuning in. The response has been just heartwarming that we've had so far on the 2 Goal Lead podcast presented by BCHL Network. All right, wraps things up for this episode. I'm going to go take some decongestant in hopes that for episode number 7 of the podcast, I don't exactly sound as congested as I do right now. Don't worry, I feel okay. I just sound like this. All right, I hope you take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you on the next episode.